Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Networks. Leroy Lucero along with Michael Carlisle. Mike, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Things are pretty exciting. Exciting game Saturday. Don't blink, because one of the teams may score again.
Right.
And it's Wednesday, and one of the teams still might be scoring right now on the other's defense.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step over you, but maybe the thing should be one of the defenses surrendered another score instead of scoring the other way.
Hey, two high-powered offenses, man.
So let's see. The Lobos gave up how many points to Notre Dame?
I don't know. 60?
Was it in the 60s?
I don't remember.
Yeah, and then they gave up 50 plus to. Did they get to the 50 mark? Yeah, they did, against New Mexico State. So that's like 110 points in 2 weeks. That's a battered defense.
As long as you score more points than your opponent, that's really all that matters.
So Bob Davie talked about that yesterday in the press. Who is coming back, I guess, for the Liberty game?
He is back for the Liberty game, yes.
And the Liberty coach also had medical issues because he coached the one game from the press box.
In a hospital bed.
In a hospital bed.
Hugh Freeze, yeah. He coached another game in a medical chair when they went to Auburn. They had a medical chair shipped down.
Really?
Yeah.
So, I mean, both of them, it's like the one who survives wins?
Well, I think they're both out of the woods at this point. So no.
I don't mean to laugh, but it's just kind of weird that you got two coaches that are going to meet together. One had I guess, do they both qualify as serious medical conditions, or did?
Well, yeah. Hugh Freeze had a serious infection, had to have back surgery and
wow,
and all that. Yeah, I mean, it was, yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying it's just interesting. But anyway, they're going to Liberty to play. Bob Davie will be there, but he did say that, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, that he doesn't feel the offense can maintain, that it's not sustainable to have that kind of an offensive output every week.
Well, I think what he said is it's not sustainable to continue to win games like that.
Right.
And he's 100% right on that. It's not. Eventually, that's going to catch up to you. Now, look, the Lobos got a couple of big stops when they needed them, and they got the win, and ultimately, like I said, that's all that matters. But going forward, the defense has got to get better at some point because, like you mentioned at the outset, when you're giving up 50 points every week, there are going to be some weeks where you only score 45, you know, or less, and you're going to lose those games. There's Hugh Freeze, yeah.
Thank you, Alden Iowani.
They had to bust out part of a wall, too, to get that bet in.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, how dedicated you got to be for that?
You got to be dedicated.
Are you that dedicated for your job?
Depends on the situation.
Are they going to roll? Because we got the video. I know they don't show your show live here on ProView. They do the morning, but will they have to roll in a bed for you and put the mic in your face? And
oh, I would just probably do the show from home or the hospital bed at that point.
Yeah.
We have those capabilities.
Back in the dark ages, when I was doing radio, there was one time I was so sick I did this show from what I thought was my deathbed at that time. This is many, many years ago, long before you moved to New Mexico.
It's a shame it wasn't.
Well, you would have liked to hear that, or what? Or that it wasn't my deathbed.
Right, exactly. It's
gotcha.
a shame it wasn't.
Okay.
And I'm only kidding, of course. I'm only kidding.
No, that's fine. But yeah, I do remember that. But anyway, going back
hold on, time out. Time out. So
many years ago.
You once did a radio show from your deathbed.
Yeah, but I live.
But yet you take off from this show every other week to go on field trips.
Yeah,
and to study for a test.
Yeah, I'm old now. It's different. Things have changed.
Well, Lord.
Well, if I could if Alden and Josh and Steve Davis and them want to bring a camera and you want to come with us, we could do the field trips and do the show on remote.
I'm not really into field trips, man.
Okay, there we go.
I don't want to go to the zoo and see the monkeys.
Well,
the new penguin display.
There could be a sports animal there. You would be right there. You are the sports animal, so you would be in the zoo. You'd fit right in.
Well, no. No.
Just don't pet the peacocks.
What will the peacocks do?
I hear they bite.
Well, you don't pet them on the head, then, do you?
You don't pet them at all. Okay, anyway, back to what we were talking about, Lobo football and the sustainability of the offense. I thought Tavaka Tuioti looked pretty good, and we knew that. I mean, he does at times throw off his back foot a little too much, where it seems like he's going away, and that's all arm strength. He got away with it a couple times. I don't know against a better defense he can get away with that constantly. But he did make some great plays, I thought.
Look, 355 yards passing. He threw for 3 touchdowns. Yeah, I think it's an understatement to say that he was pretty good. Now, he did overthrow a couple of receivers.
Yeah.
But look, that's going to happen.
That happens.
During the course of a game. But he did. He had Elijah Lilly wide open in the end zone and just overthrew him.
And there was a couple of receivers that made some amazing catches as well. I mean, I don't know so when you're up there and you're in the skybox and you're looking down upon the entire city up there, I mean, do you get a video replay? Can you see what's going on or no?
Oh, no, I'm just busy looking over the city. Yes.
I don't know if you had a video.
We have monitors up.
Okay, so you saw where there was like some snares from receivers that were just amazing and plays like Kess. Am I pronouncing it? I mean, the one play where he spun around and kept his feet in bounds was amazing, and then he definitely has some speed.
Sure.
I thought Marcus Williams was amazing at tight end. That's the best Lobo tight end we've seen here in a long time.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I mean, his hands are good. His body is big. He's very good at shielding off the defender, and he's fast enough that he can get by a lot of linebackers. So I thought the receivers looked good. I thought Tuioti looked good. The running game looked good. I noticed Carroll's now moved in as basically the second running back, and he kind of gives that change of pace between Amari Davis and himself. Davis is more of the thumper, and Carroll's more the quick burst of speed out of the backfield. I thought that all looked good.
Yeah, it's the interception late in the game, all right, but yeah, it's hard to find much to complain about with the offense for sure, and hopefully, Tuioti stays healthy,
right,
and he can continue. Look, I don't think he's going to go out and throw for 355 yards every week, but I do think what you saw from him on Saturday against the Aggies is what he's capable of doing. Consistency is a key, and like I said, staying healthy. But yeah, I think he can go out and throw the ball like that pretty, on a regular basis.
Do you cringe every time he pulls the ball down and takes off running?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Just because, yeah.
I was just wondering, because it's like every time I'm like, because you're just like, don't take a hit, don't take a hit.
Yeah. If you notice, though, the plays that he ran the ball, he was very aware of what was around him and got down really quick. Because, the last thing you want is him taking a hit and getting injured again.
Yeah, I mean, and it just like, I mean, I don't know, you were at the stadium. Are you cut off when you're overlooking the city in your beautiful skybox up there? And can you hear the sounds of the crowd?
Yeah. Hold on. Do you really think they would build me a box where I overlooked the city, but I couldn't hear the game that I was there to watch?
Well, I would think they would have like a nice thick glass, and it would be full climate control, and that there would be like a waiter that would bring your drinks and food.
It's so hot in that booth. If I did yoga, I would do hot yoga during the game.
I think they would be bringing you your lobster and your steak.
Yeah, that's not.
And your nice drinks with the umbrella in it. And then you could overlook the city and just press the button.
The umbrella in the drink would get in the way of my view of the city.
Oh, okay. Well, not a big umbrella, but the little tiny ones, so you just drink like that. Do you want tea, sir?
I'm busy working, man.
They don't. He doesn't come in like that. What do you think about this?
No.
No, nothing like that. Okay. I was just curious.
Your insight into what you think goes on up in the booth is grossly
I've never been up there, so
inaccurate.
I don't go up there. All the years that I've had press credential, I've never gone up on the box. So I don't know exactly what goes on there.
And now you just don't show up to the games anymore.
No, I don't show up to the games. I did watch it on TV though. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. It was a lot of fun.
Seth Bonner.
Said
Bonner, and who's the other cat?
I don't know.
Were they in Albuquerque, or did they?
Yeah.
Do the broadcast from out of state and
no, they were there.
ESPN?
It was,
ESPN does that, right?
Yeah, I'll say, but yeah, this is AT&T Sports Net. They actually send the announcers. Yeah.
All right, because even like watching like on BN Sports the soccer, it's played in Europe, but the announcers are in Florida.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird because sometimes there's a tape delay issue. Anyway.
Reason number 812 why soccer's not very good.
Soccer is great.
Regardless.
Just depends if you like it. Not that there's anything wrong with it if you don't. Anyway, so offensively, Lobos look great, I think. And Aggie defense looked terrible. Defensively, the Lobo defense looked terrible.
The first series or two, they were able to get some pressure on Adkins. After that, he had all day.
All day.
And he took advantage of that. You know, we can talk about the defensive backs, and that's certainly a work in progress for sure. But I don't care how good your D-backs are. If you don't get pressure on the quarterback and he's got all day to stand back there in the pocket and wait for somebody to eventually get open, you're going to get torn up every time. So, you know, I think that's where they really miss Aaron Blackwell. For sure, but you got to find a way to get more pressure on the quarterback, and obviously, again, the defensive backs are a work in progress, and hopefully they can get better as the season goes on.
I think what you said is absolutely 100% right. I don't care. You could have the greatest defensive backs in the history of football back there.
Eventually, the receiver will get open if the quarterback just has time to stand there.
That's just the way it is.
And you know, time it out
and that's what he did.
And he's like, oh, okay.
Now, the one negative, the one knock that I do have on the entire Lobo, they're not very fast. Team speed, and I think you saw that with a few of the runs by Aggie running backs and wide receivers on some of those fly patterns and little bubble screens they threw. Lobos weren't able to get back there to make the tackles, and when they did, they missed quite a few, and I think we saw that at Notre Dame. But Notre Dame's Notre Dame, and New Mexico State's New Mexico State. But speed is something obviously you can't coach, and it just seems like the Lobo linebackers and defensive backs are a little slow to the ball when it's time to make a tackle or when plays are there. I mean, they made some stops. You gotta be fair about that as well. I think you mentioned that, but it's just like that's got to shore up some way. But it all starts on the D-line.
Help me out.
Yeah.
We are talking here about a New Mexico football victory, right?
Yeah.
They didn't lose to the Aggies.
No,
right?
no.
Okay.
They didn't. They won by 3, I think.
Yeah. Then just enjoy the victory. Look, you're right. It's no secret. Everybody knows the defense has got to get better. Bob Davies said it at his weekly press conference this week. It's a work in progress. We've got to get better. We talked about it at the outset. You don't want to get in shootouts every week because eventually that's going to come back to bite you. No, for sure. The defense has to get better. Enjoy the victory. And oh, by the way, Saturday's game against Liberty, it's probably going to look like a lot like this past Saturday's game. It's probably going to be a shootout.
Does Liberty not have a defense? Because it's the same quarterback for Liberty and the same wide receiver Liberty that torched them last year. And at no point were they able to disrupt that combination. He's got a weird name. What is it, like Chance or something like that? Or what is
something like that, yeah.
Yeah, something. Anyway, they were not able to disrupt that offense last year. And that combination went, I think, for like 100 and some odd yards and a couple of touchdowns. But more importantly, it was the key when they needed that was like 3rd and 8, or I think there was one time it was like 4th and 10. It's just like, can you just double the one guy that's just gobbling you alive? And it's like, no. It's like 11 yards, touchdown, or first down.
Yeah, you're probably going to see a lot of running up and down the field and a lot of scoring.
Is that going to be on TV?
It's on ESPN+.
So the answer is no.
If you have ESPN+, it is.
No, I thought that was only online. Oh, that's the one you got to buy the package. Yeah, it's a nightmare.
No, it's not.
It is. I don't want to pay for ESPN.
They have a lot of soccer on there, dude.
I get BN Sports for soccer. I'm good. Don't be dogging on the soccer, man.
Well, I'm not. I'm just trying to help you out. They have a lot of soccer on ESPN+.
Yeah, no, but they show MLS. That's not even real soccer.
What is real soccer?
European soccer, baby. It's all going down in Europe.
Did I see something about Tottenham or something losing or something?
I don't know. I don't watch. That's English. I don't believe in English people.
Isn't that in Europe?
Yeah, but I use the Spain.
Whoa,
They're an island. They don't count.
You just bestowed the virtues of European soccer. I made a European soccer reference in an effort to bring us closer together.
But you didn't even pronounce it right, to bring us closer together.
And oh, that doesn't count. I don't believe in English people. Really? Where did you come from, Leroy? Oh, actually, never mind. Never mind. Where did I come from, Leroy?
We'll take a quick break and we'll discuss more soccer
My bad.
and Europe, and I'll break out the map and the globe for geography for you. We'll be back after this.
They haven't gone back to more. Racanelli's still in there. Throwing on the post pattern. Caught. Down. What a catch at the 25-yard line. That's just a great catch by number 1, Drake Owen.
Single running back, and West does get the ball, and he has wide open lane. Let's see if he can make it. He punches it in. Did he? Did they get it? Yes! Touchdown, Ben West. Franco hands the ball off. Nice hold for a nice run. He breaks one, breaks two. Touchdown!
Second down. Smith. Plenty of time. A little pump fake. Fires in. He's going for Connor O'Toole to the end zone.
Fowler the play fake, throws it out to Colson on the screen. Colson breaks a tackle. 20, you might be going to the house. Touchdown Mustangs.
Third down and 16. Redford going to throw it, throws it out. The receiver slipped. The ball is picked, and back to the north side we go. And this could go all the way back for a touchdown and into the end zone.
Set far side for Bell. She couldn't put it away. Sharp over the block. Salas. Ray. Hit over by Cheshire. Sharp again through the block. They're going to set Bell on the far side. Gonzalez Sanchez digs it out. Jones will push it to Sharp. That's been her spot, but they're scrambling and still alive. Now it's going to come over. Salas gets it there. Jones. Gonzalez Sanchez. Sharp will have another swing. Just barely able to get it back over. Great defense for Bias. They'll try Wallace on the other side. Yes!
Play fake. Throws. Oh, what a catch by Reggie Colson. Boy, he got whacked and still came down with it.
Handoff goes right side. Breaking some tackles and more. Off to the races. Still on his feet into the end zone. What a
middle of the field. One of the most impressive things you will ever see.
Here's a quick slant, and look at the speed by Altier. Can anybody catch him? A foot race. Altier. What an answer. Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
Right back here at Red Menace TV. Michael. You're supposed to say Leroy.
Leroy?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Don't
you remember the
I was
cue?
trying to figure out why Alden doesn't come back with a wide shot of both of us. Why it's always on you. We start the show on you, we come back from break on you, and then I'm through with my first thought before the camera ever gets on me.
So we'll do the staffing after the show, and we'll discuss.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough.
Well, he's always trying to find me doing this.
Well, and usually you are.
Usually I am. So
right,
I
fair enough. Fair enough.
He's giving you a chance. You could do whatever you need to do when we get back. Hey, so usually in the history of the University of New Mexico, by this time, because October's rolling around, basketball practice is starting this week. Lobo football is usually whatever their record is, and everyone turns their attention to the pit or Dreamstyle Arena instead of Dreamstyle Stadium. Do you see that same thing happening now? Obviously, the Lobos had a decent attendance for the Aggie game. Probably the best attendance they'll have the rest of the year. They're supposed to. We talked before the season started. They were supposed to go 3-1, so they're basically.
I don't know that they were supposed to go 3-1. I think we talked about how they needed to go 3-1, and
No, they're supposed
they
to.
have that opportunity.
Yeah, they were supposed to. I think that would have been like the death knell had they lost this game against New Mexico.
Oh, well,
State.
I agree, but they're only 2-1.
Yeah, well, but they should beat Liberty. I would. Well, I shouldn't say.
Oh,
that.
well, hold on. First of all, they lost to Liberty here last year.
They did.
Liberty's a 7.5-point favorite.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Not that I pay attention to those things.
No, don't get me wrong. I definitely think that they can beat Liberty, but it's not it's a road game, so that eliminates any gimme. There's not a gimme on the Lobos schedule.
No.
They can certainly go out and win
Well,
that
yeah,
game.
because San Jose State beat Arkansas, right?
Right, which is at the bottom of the SEC, but it's still an SEC team.
Yeah, I mean
But even that game, even if San Jose State hadn't beaten Arkansas, just because it's on the road, I don't know that you could call it a gimme. So certainly they should go there next week and win as well, but I don't know that it's a gimme.
Well, like I said, I mean, bottom of SEC and bottom of Mountain West Conference. I
Sure.
mean, that's,
Oh, yeah, no, huge difference. Absolutely. You beat an SEC team.
yeah. I mean, did you see the video? The coach like tearing up on the sideline.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I like that stuff.
Well,
That's
they only
kinda
won
stuff.
like one game last year, so I mean, he's already ahead of schedule.
I think they've
so-
only won like 1 or 2 games in the past 3 years. It's not like they have a lot of victories and to go to an SEC school, like you said, and win. But anyway, do you see that trend continuing in 2019, 2020, where we go?
Which trend was that?
The trend where you leave Dreamstyle Stadium and everyone turns their attention to
now it's basketball
Dreamstyle Arena.
season?
Yeah.
Let's see what the Lobos football team does over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully not.
Okay.
But there's a decent chance that is what happens.
So,
because
so they got the next 2 games on the road, right? Liberty and San Jose State.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. That's tough because you have that amount of time that you're not at home, and fans are kind of weird anyway. Of like if out of sight, out of mind, that sort of thing. I don't know, just something to think about.
But you can watch the game still. I mean, they are.
If you buy
available.
ESPN Plus.
Well, this week's game, but the San Jose State game's on CBS Sportsnet.
Oh, it is? Okay. No Facebook?
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Didn't you text me complaining the other week about a UFC pay-per-view or something?
Yeah.
All right. So that means you have ESPN Plus.
No, I did not have it. I was asking how you can find it, and I was like,
okay.
When we found out we had to sign up, I was like, no, guys, I'm a cheap, broke college student.
Reason number 48 why you should have ESPN Plus.
No, thanks. Basketball season's practice starts.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's oh gosh, all of a sudden I just had brain farted. Who was injured last year that's coming back?
Jaquan Lyle.
Thank you, Jaquan Lyle. All things on Twitter show that he's healthy. He's feeling better.
Yep, he's been through it.
He's
yep.
getting ready to play. That should help this team. All of a sudden, there's like there's an excitement about Lobo basketball that I don't think we've seen in a few years.
Not since last year.
I think even before that.
Because there was the excitement last year as well. Now,
I didn't feel this kind of excitement like I do the year before. I think there's some players, there's some pieces that I think Lobo fans have seen. You add in Lyle, and then some of the guys that they signed that are coming in, they'll get some playing time. I think there's a little bit more like, I know Lobo fans are like the worst. They're like, we're gonna go all the way this year, but I mean, I just think there's a little bit more excitement this season so far. Now, who knows what happens?
It hasn't even started yet.
I know, but this is New Mexico. Come on, you haven't figured this out yet? You've been here long. You're almost a native. You should be here already long enough to know what's up. Not only that, you're on the radio every day. You hear these people talk constantly, do you not?
Judging by my faux pas earlier, obviously no. I'm not totally acclimated yet, Leroy.
Okay.
I'm still learning.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll help you as best I can.
Yeah, that makes me feel good.
Yeah, I'll be like you could be my young Padawan. How's that?
Well, I'd have to be your young Padawan. I couldn't be your old one.
You could be my old Padawan if you want to.
No.
Quick, NFL. I just want to touch on Lobo basketball a little bit. NFL football, Dallas Cowboys, the greatest 3-0 team that has played nobody ever.
No.
No?
No.
There's someone greater that's 3-0 that has played nobody ever?
The Patriots.
Well, they played the Jets and who? So Jets, Dolphins. Oh, but they played the Dolphins and the Jets. Okay.
And the Steelers. You should go look up their record.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but you know that the Patriots are going to be there at the end anyway. I mean, the Cowboys not 100% sure.
They better be.
They should be.
They better be.
But I'm just saying, there's no guarantee on that. I think with the Patriots, as long as Tom Brady's back there spinning the ball, it don't matter who, they'll be there.
Yeah, they can survive an injury to pretty much anybody on that roster not named Tom Brady.
Well, come on, they just dropped Antonio Brown as like, all right, we might have just gotten better by dumping him.
Well, I don't know that they got better by dumping him. They didn't need him in the first place.
Right.
That was just, some gravy on top of the big pile of mashed potatoes that is the New England Patriots.
Chicken fried steak.
Yes, of course, chicken fried steak.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, they didn't need him in the first place. When it became a hassle and things he had done and the NFL was looking into happened while he was a Patriot, New England's like, the heck with this. We're done. We're moving on. And yeah, they don't really need him.
So quick question. I saw this poll. Who gets signed first, Antonio Brown or Colin Kaepernick?
Antonio Brown.
Okay. Do you think he'll get signed this year, or?
Probably not.
Do you think he's got to get through all this nonsense with the?
Yeah, probably. Look, never say never, because anything can happen. But I think at this point, the NFL is going to take their time with this investigation, and if a team is interested, they'll inquire with the league, hey, so if we sign him, are you putting him on the commissioner's exempt list? Because technically they can't do that while he's a free agent.
Right.
So, and the NFL say, yeah, probably, and they'll just move on to somebody else. But once everything clears, yeah.
So do you think the Patriots were afraid that he was going to put on the exempt list, or they just said, we just don't want the circus?
No. When the Patriots signed him,
right,
they didn't know about the pending civil suit.
Right.
They found that out. All right, well, we'll stick by you. The thing that came up with the group text,
yeah.
Right, that happened while he was a Patriot. At that point in time, the promises he made to them, I'm not going to be a distraction, I'm going to be a good teammate and all that, well, that went out the window because all of a sudden he just did something that's causing a distraction. It's not something that's catching up to him now. It's something he did while a Patriot. Patriots cut bait.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, speaking of cutting bait, it's time for us to leave and turn this all over to Micah Frankel at cageminds.com.
Quite the fisherman Micah is, by the way.
Yes, he is.
With all this bait we're going to
catches the big whales. And you will be on this afternoon on 95.9 and 610, the sports animal. And I'll be in school. So what did you say, 90-year-old? What is it?
A 90-year-old college student?
Yeah, senior, baby, senior year.
You're a senior, but you're only a sophomore.
No, I'm really a senior. I got the double classification. Hey, we'll see you all next week. God bless you all.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
Ah!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am,
Ma'am. Ma'am. Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
To win the race, I can't even explain how, in fact, I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about it. No matter where you go, you're an Indy 500 winner. The only way to be successful in racing is to stay on top of the technical edge, and we've done that with our dealership. So a lot of the technology in our service department and sales processes, everything is the very latest. That gives you an edge. That's being competitive in the car business. You can take it any way you want, but that's the truth.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Welcome to the place where we talk about people getting punched in the face. This is Caged Minds, and I'm Micah Frankel. So, of course, how we do it right away, first thing, we're going to get going with the highlights. The UFC, still in the international kick, south of the border, Mexico City, UFC Fight Night, 159. Getting to those highlights, and the first big finish of the night came via Kyle Nelson, stopping Marco Polo Reyes quickly into the first round, stunning Reyes with an elbow and punching until the ref jumped in, advancing to 12-3, 2-1 in the octagon. Kyle Nelson, a big prospect coming out of Canada, did it in a violent finish, stunning the Mexican crowd. Talk about stunning the Mexican crowd. Martin Bravo looked great for the first round and a minute, and then it's about reactions. Bravo spins for a spinning back fist. Steven Peterson spins for a spinning back fist, connects beautifully. There's the aftermath. A big knockout win in the second round. A back against the wall, much needed victory for Ocho. Get up to the feature fight of the night, and a crazy flyweight bout is scored a draw. Ansar Ansarov is now 10-0-1 after this matchup. I thought he won the first 2 rounds controlling with his grappling. The third round obviously controlled in the grappling by Brandon Moreno. Moreno landed a great left hook in the first round, a very solid head kick in the second round, but was controlled in the grappling aspect throughout those. Did control the grappling aspect throughout the third round. Didn't really have any deep submission threats, but the refs still were kind of confused, scoring the fight all over the place, giving a 10-9 to Moreno in the last round. You had some judges giving Moreno one of the first 2 rounds, which again, head-scratching to me when it was obvious that Ansarov controlled those first 2 rounds. Moreno, yes, he did land the heavier strikes, but it was one-sided. Not staying consistent in the judging. It was a wrestling-heavy, controlling effort through the first 2 rounds of the co-main event that would give former Invicta, former inaugural strawweight UFC Women's Champion Carla Esparza the victory over Alexa Grasso. Don't worry, we thought this one was controversial too. Grasso landed the heavier strikes, had Esparza on the ropes, broke Esparza's nose, nearly finished the fight in the latter moments of the second round, and had Esparza in survival mode throughout the third round. I thought that fight screamed draw, if not decision, in Grasso's favor. Not staying consistent with the judging. Was it control or was it strikes that you were favoring? Because I scored this bout off of what we saw them score in the Moreno-Ansarov fight. Little bit different. Then the main event, 15 seconds in. This is the look on the face of Yair Rodriguez as he tries to compose himself after inadvertently poking Jeremy Stephens in the eye. Little heathen gets poked in both eyes. Or did he? The Rodriguez corner is disputing, saying that earlier, only 15 seconds, but yes, the one strike he did land, a teep kick to the face, was the culprit of the eye damage, not the hand to the face. The hand did go in the eyes, though. Can't tell how deeply into the left eye. Chaos ensues as the Mexican people are not happy with the fight being called a no contest. The doctor stopping the action. Fighter safety here, and Brendan Fitzgerald, UFC commentator, having to take cover. This is Jeremy Stephens being rushed out of the arena as the crowd was just heaving garbage and trash towards the athletes, towards the commission, towards everybody there ringside. A hectic, chaotic scene that just does not need to be happening. I understand you're not happy. You wanted to see Yair Rodriguez there in Mexico, the hero, take a big step up in his career. You wanted to see the fight. You wanted to see the knockout. No matter what happens, you wanted to see the fight. But fouls for no contest, for pokes to the eye, for low blows, unfortunately, are part of the game. They do happen. And the behavior of the crowd was unacceptable, just totally unacceptable. Now, as far as the medical updates, Jeremy Stephens is suspended for 180 days or when he gets cleared by a doctor. Now, if you saw Ariel Helwani's interview with him, Stephens, his eyes look to be all right. I think he'll be on the mend sooner than later, and they need to reschedule this fight, especially coming off of the conflict the two had. You can find online in the hotel following the next morning after the fight. Looked like it was going to be cordial. Then some name calling happens. Then some fists get thrown. Also, shame on Cain Velasquez and Brian Ortega for going along with the crowd in a specific chant of a word that they would not utter if they were not in front of that crowd. It is not acceptable to yell slurs at anybody, no matter whether you're around your people, whether you're feeling comfortable in the night, whether you've had booze. It was a bad look for the UFC, for the crowd there. A lot to take away and a bad look from everything outside of the cage that happened at the UFC Fight Night 159 there in Mexico City. But we're going to move on. There was one other bit of action that took place this weekend, and it was in the bare knuckle world. Ken Shamrock's Valor Bare Knuckle had their first event filled with UFC, MMA, Bellator veterans in the one-night, four-man heavyweight tournament, 2 knockout victories. Mark Godbeer there earns a pretty piece of armor. This bare knuckle event went in a different way than others. We're not talking about a ring, a circle. It was done in the fight pit where you fell to a padded surface, but there were no ropes. Ken Shamrock tackling, promoting bare knuckle boxing in a different genre. And at least so far to date, everybody's been paid. So that's another worry that there was about some of these promotions that is now being put by the wayside, that they are conducting business in the proper manner. A lot of stuff last weekend, a lot of stuff to look forward to this weekend. So we can talk about that. Next, we got this weekend's fights, and we get started tonight on UFC Fight Pass with Warrior Way Wednesday, 7, Southgate, Michigan. 2 title bouts, Willis Black versus Anthony Ivy. Both are 7-2. That will be your main event tonight. Friday, on tape delay here in America, Friday night, you can see what happens in Ireland during the day. Bellator 227. Former UFC lightweight champion Benson Smooth Henderson on a 3-fight win streak takes on fellow UFC vet Miles Jury, his first fight since February when he parted ways with the UFC. The card will also see the return of knockout artist MVP Michael Venom Page. And on short notice, UFC vet on a 2-fight losing streak, Roman Salazar, Arizona's own, will fly over to take on Ireland's own SBG product, James Gallagher. LFA 77 is Friday night in Minnesota. You have the finals of the heavyweight tournament. Daniel James 9-3-1 versus Brett Martin 8-1. Get over to CageMinds.com. We have interviews with Daniel James, with JP St. Louis, with Bryce Logan, who are all on the card. Great co-main event. Also a heavyweight bout with Cullen Hall versus Chad Johnson. If you're up there in Minnesota, hopefully we'll have details on how to watch that one soon. The UFC, keeping with that international look, gets going early Saturday morning, ESPN2 and ESPN Plus for UFC Fight Night 160 in Copenhagen, Denmark. It's a top 10 middleweight matchup at the top of the card. Number 5 ranked Jack the Joker Hermanson, who's 20-4, takes on number 9 ranked Jared Cannonier in the main event. We're talking about ground and pound from Hermanson versus powerful karate striking out of Cannonier. Gunnar Nelson meets short notice opponent Gilbert Burns in a featured welterweight bout that is two phenomenal grapplers. Look for the difference to be Gilbert Burns' power punching. Jackson Acoma representative Lando Venata is in action against Mark DeCasey. If you haven't already, if you didn't see last week's show, we do have an interview on the website and on the YouTube page up with Landon Venata. Not to mention, renowned kickboxer Giga Chikadze faces Brandon Davis. You have later on Saturday on DAZN EFC 82 welterweight and light heavyweight title bouts in that one. Bounce back over to Fight Pass for Cage Warriors 107 from Liverpool. That is a 15-fight card. Glory, the world's top kickboxing promotion, is in America for Glory 68 in Miami this weekend. The middleweight title is on the light heavyweight title is on the line in the main event. Sorry about that. Alexander Pereira, who is 30-6 with 19 knockouts, a 5-fight win streak, takes on Dongi Aben, who is 24-6 with 6 knockouts. A banger alert as Mike Laramie takes on Richard Abram. Two Americans that are going to be going for that fight of the night. Also, Tiffany Van Soos is on that card. For the boxing fans, this one is huge. Fox pay-per-view, 2 title fights, 3 title fights in all, actually. The 2 big ones that we're paying attention to. Anthony Durrell, 33-1-1, 24 knockouts, taking on David Benavidez, 21-0, 18 knockouts. That's for Durrell's WBC super middleweight title. Then you have the unbeaten 25-0 Earl Spence Jr. taking on Sean Porter, who's 32-1. It's an IBF WBC welterweight unification bout. MMA action still going on Saturday night. That's over in Inglewood, California at the Forum. You have Patricio Pitbull Freire defending the featherweight title against Juan Archuleta. It is a featherweight Grand Prix opening round bout. Musasi Machida co-main event. Rest of the featherweight Grand Prix opening bout matchups taking place at this event. Not to mention the draw, yes, for who will match up in the quarterfinals will happen at the end of the night. Bellator making a show of how this featherweight Grand Prix will go down. Interested to see if they have all participants on hand for that one, as Bellator, making the featherweight division their deepest division, really take center stage with this $1 million world title Grand Prix. Interestingly enough, though, of the opening round, only the one 5-round fight. Not enough action for you? Well, Sunday, if you're still awake, stay up. UFC Fight Pass, Pancrase 308. It's early in the morning, a 12-fight card going WEC style, all action under 155 pounds. Tuesday, Art of 8 Limbs is on display on UFC Fight Pass. You got Absolute Muay Thai 44. So a lot going on the national scene. But that's not all that's going on this weekend, because we got a whole lot on the local scene to talk about, including where I'll be at this weekend. We've been talking about the event for quite a while. If we can hit that slideshow. This weekend, it's Fight Week this week. Southwest MMA Series 29. It's September 28th. The card is happening at Buffalo Thunder Resort and Casino. Jesse Tafoya, Josiah Reyes, Ali Omar, Jalen Fuller, not to mention Kamoy Anderson, Val Guevara. Interviews with all of them up at CageMinds.com and the Cage Minds MMA Show YouTube channel. Clovis, get ready. Fight Week, Force of One, Fighting Championships. #1, Nicholas Webb versus Nico Nathan is the main event. We got interviews on the website up with Eric Montoya and Javier Rodriguez. And then Hobbs, Fight Week for School of Hard Knocks Promotion, MMA, boxing, kickboxing. It is a huge night of combat sports action on Saturday, and it is a big weekend everywhere. Don't forget also, on October 4th, 5th, and 6th, you have the Southwest Explosion event, the Johnny Tapia Promotions, 3 days of a meet and greet, amateur and pro fights, and then an amateur invitational on Sunday. A lot that we had to talk about, a lot going on. I got to catch my breath. We're going to take a quick break. We got a lot more coming this week.
The 2019 New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame candidate nomination voting has begun. ProView Network's president and owner, Steve Davis, has made the nomination ballot. Please go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on Steve's picture, and vote for him today.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
It's been long awaited. We've been talking about it a lot. I'm excited for the face-punching action that will go down at Buffalo Thunder this weekend. And I got out to the gyms to talk to a couple guys. We're going to start off with the clip of my interview from talking with Jesse Tafoya about his bout with Josiah Reyes. How excited are you to be back on the Southwest MMA Series, a card that you've been a part of since it was a different name, came up as an amateur, second time as a professional there at Buffalo Thunder?
Yeah, man. I think I had like my 4th amateur fight for them.
and then I fought for them a couple more times after that. I had my pro debut for them, so it's nice for me to get to fight for them again. I get to fight near home by Santa Fe, so I get to have a lot of my people there. It's a good event for me.
Now, after being the road team for 2 of these 3 professional fights, does it make you feel extra special when it is a local fight in this area?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a gift to be able to fight in front of my hometown, be able to put on for my people. I do like traveling though, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like going out of state is a bad thing, but it's definitely a blessing to be able to put on a show in front of my fans.
Now we got to get real. This pro venture has not started off the way you've wanted. What has that done for you? What has that done, like, to motivate you?
Oh, I mean, like, I'm a competitive guy, so like, even if in practice someone gets the better of me, you know what I mean? Like, I want to improve myself in whatever areas that I need to get that back. So like, especially when it comes down to a fight, you know what I mean? Like, this is something that I've done for my whole life. Like, I love martial arts and I've trained it forever. So like, when I lose in martial arts, it's something that's really like tough for me. So it's always right back to the drawing board, right back to getting the attributes that I need to succeed, and cutting out the extra things that I don't need that will hinder my success.
So talk just a little bit about the adjustments that's been made since June leading up to this next fight.
Lot of, oh man, okay, so yeah, I'll just get right into it. Okay, so I've been working a ton on just mixing everything up, having the cardio base to go from striking to grappling to wrestling right back every single time for 3 5-minute rounds. You know what I mean? I've been putting in a lot of work. I've been kicking my own butt, and I'm ready to put on that performance.
Was the last fight a motivating factor, almost a turning point for you?
Bro, I was pissed. Oh my God, it motivated the shit out of me. Like, sorry to cuss like that, but bro, oh my God, I hate losing so much. And for my record to be what it is now, like, unacceptable. I'm getting this win back.
Jesse Tafoya, the Tornado, coming out after his most recent loss, not happy with where he is in his professional career, looking to turn everything around on Saturday night against Josiah Reyes. Reyes, a 4-1 amateur career, was on a tear, looks to turn it into momentum as he becomes professional. A great storyline heading into Saturday night. Whose will prevail? Now we went over to the Latrell Yee Gym to catch up with Jalen Fuller to talk about his upcoming bout with Kamoy Anderson. It was postponed 4 weeks, but they're looking to get it this Saturday night. It's hard to find your fights. What was the emotions like when you found out you did have an opponent for September?
I was through the roof. We had a fight scheduled. That one didn't come together. And then we both signed again. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank goodness. Like, I was just very thankful. So I'm just grateful to be able to get in another fight before the year's over. If I'm real lucky, we can get something done in December too.
And in the last 8 months, tell me about the work you've been putting in here.
It's been constant. We've had plenty of other fighters getting ready. Jordan Espinosa, I think he's had 2 UFC fights in this calendar year. Andreas Quintana getting all that work done for Combate. You know, we've always had somebody having something coming up, so I've always been here just getting high-level work.
What do you feel have been the biggest areas of improvement that we're going to see you showcase?
Definitely control, but definitely control in all areas. There were plenty of spots where I wasted energy, where I didn't know I was wasting that energy. My first time going the full 15, it became apparent to me. I like to say that was my worst performance, but on my worst day, I was hit like 5 times. So, I'm feeling like I need to just really learn how to better pace myself. In the middle of these fights, we all come in here, everybody who trains, we come in here and we do this for hours on end. But when those emotions of a real fight get involved, that 3-hour practice that you can do straight through becomes like, 15 minutes of hell, essentially.
taking a look at your opponent, Kamoy Anderson, a lot of guys have tried to take you down, and I almost expect that you're expecting this is going to be the same. He comes from a wrestling and 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu background. Is that what you're expecting?
That's definitely what I'm expecting. I'm expecting him, of course, to mix it up. He seems well-rounded to me, you know, but he primarily strikes me as a ground and pound kind of a fighter. Even with his extensive jiu-jitsu credentials, you know, he still likes to get on top of you and just kind of bang you out, essentially. So, yeah, like most fights, we're going to be looking to keep this one standing. If he wants to go down, if we get to the ground, of course, I'm well-rounded. I'm versed everywhere. I work with plenty of high-level brown and black belts myself, and, you know, I like to believe that I do fairly well. But it'd be kind of foolish of me to not keep it in my strongest area.
This weekend, if you're from Albuquerque to Buffalo Thunder, that Santa Fe area, Buffalo Thunder is the place to be. Southwest MMA Series 29. You have the 3 professional fights. You have a stacked amateur card. And again, for everybody near Clovis, it's a huge night. MMA action returning. Amateur title bout in the co-main event. The main event is a big one as you have Nico Nathan hungry as Nicholas Webb, both of them hunting for that first professional victory. And then Isidro Castillo and School of Hard Knocks Promotions, they're in Hobbs, bringing you the trifecta event where you have boxing, MMA, and kickboxing. I'm excited for the local action, and it all goes down in the evening. So during the day, you can tune in, check out that UFC event. At night, I know it's hard to pass up the big time boxing. Maybe you do have to watch Spence versus Porter. Maybe you do really want to see what's going to happen in LA for Bellator. It's a big weekend for combat sports. Couple other little things to throw at you quickly. Daniel Cormier wants the rematch with Miocic, and Brian Ortega versus Korean Zombie is going to be happening in South Korea. It's been the Cage Minds portion of Red Menace TV. Thanks for tuning in this week, guys. Enjoy the fights.
The 2019 New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame candidate nomination voting has begun. ProView Network's president and owner, Steve Davis, has made the nomination ballot. Please go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on Steve's picture, and vote for him today.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef.